You are now listening to the smooth sensations and high vibrations of Alex, host of the best relationship channel on YouTube. Alex, drop them gems on us.
You got a big bag, let me bang. Show me where your friends at, we can flip that. Let me put you on the game.
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 Show you where the red at, where the blue at. Show you where they flip that, where they bitch at. Let me put you on the game.
Let me put you on the game.
Let me put you on the game.
Let me put you on the game right now.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Alex. Shout out to the Elite Fleet. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can become a member of the Elite Fleet. It's hot as hell out here. It's almost 70 degrees outside. We are in the Northeast. We are in the DMV. I have no idea why it is so hot out here today. I keep telling y'all this is Babylon and the world will probably soon be coming to the end. But that's okay because before the world ends, we're going to drop these gems that almost rhyme. But I would have had to change the letters a little bit. But that's neither here or there. What I want to talk about today is a very important video, at least to me. Because I had a subscriber ask me in my email, and I thought it was a really good question. He said, what do you think is the most important thing to be respected as a man? Or what gains you the most respect as a man? What makes you a high value man? What makes you an elite man? And I just thought that was a great question. So of course I answered it for him, but I wanted to do a discussion about it on video too, because everybody gives up all these different rules of masculinity and all these different rules for being high value, all these different rules for all this other stuff. And to my opinion, the thing that really makes an elite man stand out, the thing that really makes you respected as a man is these three things, all right? Number one, family. And I know, and a lot of these spaces, especially on YouTube and online, a lot of y'all dudes gonna be like, oh, come on, Alex, family, kids, marriage. I get it, but let me ask you guys this. How many high value men do you know throughout the whole world, right? Elite men, right? Do you know? And there's a difference between high value men and elite men, but you know, that's in the archives. So we're just gonna say high value and elite together, and then you guys who wanna know the difference can check out the archives. But what do you notice similar between almost every single high earning man in this country? You will notice that they're married. Damn near every single one of them. They're married and they have kids. Almost every single one of them. So you guys can downplay it. You can say it's not important. You can say that you don't need that. And I'm not saying that you need it. That's why there's three things. It's not just one thing. But having a family, right? Having a wife, having kids, guys, that's one of the most major stepping stones to being respected as a man and having a legacy behind on this earth. First of all, nothing's going to contribute to your legacy more than your children, okay? Bring forth seeds that stampede the globe when you're deceased. By then your kids will rise like yeast. Nothing's going to leave you a legacy more than your children. They have your last name. They're 50% you. That's your legacy basically right there, right? Or at least a huge portion of it. But your wife is too. All right, guys, you're not going to be out here worth $500 million or $1 billion or millions of dollars or even the high numbers of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not talking about 100K six figures. I'm talking about $500,000, $600,000 six figures. You're not going to be worth that just going out here randomly sleeping with women and being a player and just throwing your seed around like that. You can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta pick a queen for your castle, especially when you get to that level, because it's too important to not end up on a bunch of child support, to not end up in a bunch of scandals and all this other crap, get false allocated. You gotta pick a queen. All right, so picking the right queen and having you some kids and building a family and taking care of your family, being protector and provider for your family is one of the most important things as far as being considered a high value or elite man or to be respected as a man, okay, on this planet, all right? Number two, land, all right? Owning a house or owning some land, all right? If you own a house or you own some land, That's your property. You brought it. It cannot be seized from you by the banks. Okay, now you gotta pay your taxes because you know taxes. But I'm talking about there's no lien against it. There's no loan against it. That is huge for your legacy. Guys, I know when I was growing up, my granddad, he stayed in the same house on the same block for over 50 years, all right? And they used to call that our block. Everybody knew that's where our granddad was at. That's where my granddad's kids were at. That was where me and the other grandkids were at. That's where the great-grandkids were at. That was our block. They used to call that our house, all right? On that corner on the top of the hill in the same block because he sat there for 50 years. Again, that's legacy. That's legacy to the point where when my granddad passed away, right, and nobody wanted to take on the actual house, they still call that house our family's name to this day, and we don't even own it anymore. They actually ended up selling it to the university that's up the street from where the school is at, but they still call that the house of our family last name. That's legacy, guys. Buying property, and you can have multiple properties. Again, you can have a chunk of land, doesn't matter. But if you have a chunk of land or a house, right, and you own this place and it's yours, and everyone can associate that chunk of land or that house with you, that's yours. You built that, or you own that block, or whatever the case may be, okay? That's a huge part of your legacy as a man, your respect as a man, and being certified as a high value or elite man, okay? Number 3, your career or your business. All right, now really your career could be your business, could be the same thing, but I'm gonna differentiate the two just so that you guys understand. All right, I want to separate that because you can have a career and still buy land and own land, right? And doesn't necessarily mean you have to own your own business. But here now we're talking about having a career, not a job, a career, or owning and starting your own business. All right, to me that's the third level of being certified as an elite level man, as a high value man, or being respected as a man. All right, that's the third level. If you have a high-end job, right, or if you create your own business and it lasts, and you're not one of those 90% startups that fail, and everyone can attribute that business to you. I don't give a damn if it's just a restaurant on a corner in one city, in one neighborhood. If it's been there for years and that's yours, that's a huge part of your legacy, guys. A huge part. If you go in a company and change a plan or push the numbers up, or you become a high position in that company, right? Like you become an RVP, or you become a CEO, or you create a new product, or whatever the case may be, to where your photo is framed on that wall. When people go into that corporate office, they see you cheesing like this. That's high level stuff. All right, that's legacy building stuff. That's the type of things that gets you respected as a man out here. All right, being able to accomplish things like that, or like I said, starting your own business and being able to hand your business down to your kids, so your kids always have the ability to work for themselves. All right, that's a key and important to your legacy as a man. That's a big facet of whether or not people are gonna look back and respect you as an elite level or a high value man, or they're just gonna look at you as a little boy. Because again, guys, little boys change in women 24/7 for their whole lives. It's fine to have a period. Again, I'm on document of saying everybody can have a period where they have a little fun. I think people need that, but at a certain point, if you can't lock down a good woman and get her to be a nurturing, caring, submissive wife to you and take care of your kids and have loving kids, productive kids in society, a productive family with your last name, what are you really doing here? Because at the end of the day, we can make up all these different goals and purposes, right? And we do have goals and purposes, but we're here to reproduce. If we all stop reproducing, the human race will cease to exist. That's a big part of your legacy, right? Now, does everyone have to have kids? No. But even a lot of people who don't have kids will still get married, guys. Even LGBTQ plus couples will still get married. And they may adopt kids, they may not. But the point is, family, it doesn't have to involve kids. It doesn't even have to involve marriage. You might not get married. You might just have kids, and your kids are productive members of society. But still, that's going to go a long way in solidifying you as a respected man in society, all right? Again, land, owning a house, or owning massive amounts of land, some stadiums, a parking lot, whatever. This is your divot. This is your spot. It can't be taken away from you. You own that. That's going to go huge to not only setting your family name up financially for the future, but just, again, putting in that legacy, all right? This is an elite level man. This is a high value man. This man is not about games, and he's not about the jokes. Having land, owning a house, like I said, owning a building, owning property, owning a parking lot, owning a patch of land. whatever it is, getting some acres. That's the big thing, all right? And then third, having an impactful position in your career, all right? Or starting your own business, or just leaving some type of a legacy impact in a predominant career, not a job, all right? Because like I said, if you go to the NBA, you become the greatest of all time. That's going to solidify you, right? Again, if you go to a company, you become an RVP or a CEO, you sit on the chairman's cabinet, they're going to snap that picture of you. It's going to sit in the wall of the corporate offices. That's going to solidify you. All right, starting that business, again, I don't care how small it is. It could be on the same corner, in the same neighborhood, in the same city, and never expand. If it's been there for years and it's yours, that is going to solidify your legacy. Your kids could come in there and work for that family business and never have to punch a clock. That is going to solidify your legacy. All right, guys, to me, those are the three most important things, just to simplify it. There's other things you could say, but to me, those are the three most important things to solidifying yourself as a respectable man, an elite man, a high-value man, all right? Your family, legacy, all right? Owning land and property, and having a high-value career or a business that you started that's sustainable, where you do something impactful that can't be forgotten. Those are the three biggest things. All right, so that was the answer to that question. Of course, I went more in depth with him because we were having a whole conversation about it. As always, if you guys want any financial consultations, because I do financial consulting, hit my email. If you got any relationship questions or any mentorship type questions, hit my email. The link is in the description. But like I said, I thought that was a really good question. I want to share a portion of my answer with the rest of my subscriber base. All right, don't let anyone convince you that your name doesn't matter, that your legacy doesn't matter. It's one of the most important things you can have as a man. Your kids or your woman who takes on your last name and how they represent you. The property that you buy with your last name. The business that you start with your last name, or the career that you impact the globe with your last name. These are very important things, all right? I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.